Hello there. General Kenobi. What is your favorite story of old? Do you like the ancient myths of Zeus and Hercules from the Greek Empire? Or maybe you're like me and you find yourself a little more akin to Ragnarok and Thor and Odin and all the gods of Norse. What if I was to tell you that there is a mythic even older than all of those? The first mythic. Let me tell you about a tale called Paroxysm. Prologue. From a world far from the unknown, billions of years ago before Egyptian's tombstone, a dying planet, Genesis, and humanity searching for a new home. Two brave individuals, Luno and Sina, would put their feelings aside and embark on a journey to find a new planet that yet hadn't died. Even with danger looking them right in the eye, anxiety and fear wasn't easy to hide. In the mix of a space journey way beyond the human eye, a blessing, a gift, was presented with the sacrifice of another life. With every birth, there is a death. Luno never expected it to be Sina, the mother of Analea, the very child Luno lost in space and that he would never forget. In the midst of a dark space, a peak of light that represents hope. A prayer was said to a god, not the same as the Pope. To a being of oneself as they spiral down no slope, another world, Colony 1, is reached and they wish to call their own. Act 1. The Call. 12 years later, Colony 1 was now plagued, tormented, a perfect reflection of Luno's mind. Once a hero, now someone whose glory was left behind. The darkest of clouds hovering over him, the memories of his beloved, Analea painful, like a missing limb. The guilt for the loss of Sina, never getting dim, and the noise in his head only quieted down by a whiskey glass filled to the brim. On the darkest of days, with the infection suffocating all, Luno had reached the lowest point in his dreadful fall. Then suddenly, a call, said Colony 1's president in his distinctive drawl. Since you were the brave hero who found this planet for the people of Genesis to colonize, you will have to find a way to rid us of this plague, so that we will be able again to see the skies. The surprise of that unexpected summoning was quickly taken over by Luno's insecurity. How can I be worthy? Too insidious is this plague's obscurity. The cause of his own guilt and hopelessness wrapped Luno too tight, so no was the response he gave that sad night. In the depths of the night, a soft whisper woke Luno, never so scared he had been. A riddle was whispered to him from an echo within. If the plague you will lift, you will re-encounter a long-lost gift. Luno couldn't understand what the voice was, but he clearly understood what it said. Without much need to sift, the voice was referring to dear Analea, who had long been adrift. At dawn he would leave, when the moon and sun would shift. In the morning off he went, in the depths of the woods, further and further from familiar neighborhoods. The plague was eating all life that was left. Flowers were infected, animals could not keep themselves protected. Luno knew he had to succeed in his quest. Voice, oh voice, but how? Of failing I am afraid. What if my actions will cause Colony 1 to fade? Of letting everyone down I fear, what if humanity will disappear? He then remembered Analea, and finally, determination in him appeared. Act 2. The Darkness. Luno, hesitant and unsure of himself, sets off on his journey to save humanity itself. In a constant state of self-doubt and disbelief, wondering how he's the only one who is capable of destroying the plague. He has to save the planet so he can see his daughter again, always reminding himself of his goal. Luno cannot give up. While in his state of disbelief, a shadowy figure appears, Luno, screaming with fear. The strange figure speaks.
You're right. You are not worthy to defeat me. You are weak and aren't capable of doing anything.
Confused and afraid, Luno screams, "What are you?"
I am the very thing that is corrupting your entire world. The thing everyone is afraid of confronting. I am the darkness within all of you.
I am not afraid of you. I need to get my daughter back. And with an immediate hunch, Luno throws a punch. The attack goes straight through. He thinks if he throws enough punches, at least one of them will hurt it.
You do nothing to me.
Louder laughter resonates, leaving Luno with ringing in his ears. Finally, it vanishes into an explosion of smoke. Within the smoke, a strange staff drops where the darkness vanished. Luno picks up the staff, believing he defeated the darkness. Perhaps this is my reward? Luno, confused about what just happened, grabs the staff and continues on his journey. Winded and fatigued, Luno stumbles across a dark path. Sounds of evil surround him until a hum pierces the mass. As the curious explorer he is, Luno searches for the hums. It gets louder and louder until finally, a cave. Inside the cave, he saw a man. Unlike any before, his humming resonated wisdom, but it sent chills down to his core. Putting his staff down off to the side, Luno looked up at this man. The man finally goes silent and glares at Luno. With a wildly deep breath, he finally speaks.
You must not give up. Continue on your path and save everything.
Luno replies, How do I do that? I've lost everything. My daughter is lost in the unknown, and I could care less about this world. The man stands up angrily.
You must find the strength within yourself and put it in the staff. That staff is the only way. Find yourself. Release the negative dark energy and make this world beautiful again.
Luno looked up at this man, back down at the staff. The man exclaimed,
Leave now and save this world.
Luno leaps up, grabs his staff, and runs out of the cave. He knows what he must do to be brave. To rid the world of this darkness in the forest, sounds of terror surround Luno. They grow louder and louder. Distracted and afraid, he tries to push through until the whispers begin to ensue. Failure. Give up now. There's nothing you can do. The whispers say nothing but terrible things. Luno strays from the proper path, getting lost in the forest. Louder and louder they grow until Luno can hear nothing else. Luno drops to his knees. The pain is too intense. He is quite tearful, and it is very fearful. Why me? Luno screams out. He's wailing from the pain. In the distance, he hears a girl, kind of out of nowhere. He would know that voice from anywhere. It's okay, Daddy. You can do it. Do it for me. Analia, it can't be, Luno cries out. He now knows his daughter is out there. He must fight to bring her home. He must continue his quest. Luno builds up his strength and is able to stand up slowly. The terrible noises are still coming his way, but he makes his way back to the original path. He is destined to finish his journey. He assumes himself that he will not give up. Several days after the incident, Luno begins to feel more self-doubt. I've been traveling on the same winding path for days now. How long is this supposed to go on? Suddenly, Luno begins to feel weak and tired. He finds a nearby log and decides to sit. He throws the staff on the ground near him and begins to take a quick rest. Luno wakes up abruptly to hear a strange rumbling sound. The staff begins to shake in front of him. Out of nowhere, Luno quickly gets engulfed by the staff. What's happening? Screams Luno. Where am I? Luno was teleported to some sort of an all-white void containing absolutely nothing. Off into the distance, he hears a voice. How could you? Huh? Exclaimed Luno. Luno is confused by what is happening. You got my daughter killed. I told you not to bring her with you. You killed my baby girl. The voice screams at Luno. A smoky resemblance of Sina's father appears, growing at least 10 feet taller than Luno, constantly saying the same phrases. You got my daughter killed. You killed her. It was all your fault. No, it wasn't my fault, Luno cries out. Luno is broken, scared and unsure of what to do. He knew he shouldn't have brought Sina with him, but he had no other choice. Planet Genesis was destroyed and couldn't maintain humanity. Luno knew the father was correct. Then he heard that little girl's voice again, the same voice he heard in the forest. Analia's voice. It was still just as faint as last time. It's not actually him. He's playing tricks on you. Luno remembers that his partner's father died on Genesis. There was no way that it could have been him. Luno had one mission in his mind from the start, and that was to defeat the darkness. He knew what he had to do. Luno was transported back to reality. Luno's staff was glowing bright, with gray smoke that was as dark as the night. He grabs the staff, determination in his eyes, doing whatever it takes to destroy it. This is finally his chance to get rid of the darkness. Luno's rage increases. He uses all of his strength to smash it into a million different pieces. The pieces of the staff start to vanish into thin air, finally releasing the darkness from Luno, and then the entire world as a whole. Everything starts returning back to its original beautiful colors. Bright greens, vibrant blues, and splendid purples. Every shade imaginable finally freed from the plague. Colony 1 was finally saved. As Luno looks out into this beautiful world, he is redeemed. A giant beam of green light catches his eye. Looking among the trees nearby, he noticed that the staff has returned to its original glory. Act 3. Solace. The rumbling fades. The dust settles. No parade. Standing alone and withered, Luno is victorious. But when reality starts to catch up to him, he sees he is still alone in a different way. Where is my daughter? He shouts to the staff. Why am I still without her? Gripping the staff with all his might, rage, anger, betrayal, all begin to cast a shadow on what was once his light. On his knees, he sees the manifestation of his greatest fear. He starts to hear a laugh from the staff as it slowly consumes him from ear to ear. A single tear runs down his cheek. In defeat, he looks up to the sky. Believed he has been deceived, he whispers, Analea, my sweet, I will not return without you, even if I die. With this final exclamation almost entirely consumed, he hears something. It turned night into day, and then flowers starting to bloom. To what could only be described as divine, the sound became clearer. It was a voice, a female voice. He tried so hard to hear her. He closed his eyes, and his heart began to pound. Daddy? The voice said. It was the most beautiful sound. The voice, it was that of Analea's. It was the light in which she spoke through. My ship, it was lost in the constellations of Antlia until we found what will become Colony 2. I know there is so much that you have already been through, but Daddy, there is one more flight in which you must ensue. With the darkness finally defeated, Luno embarks on his journey to his daughter. By some divine intervention, she had been living safely on a different planet, only much, much smaller. So through the stars he went, one final flight to redeem his lost honor. A new land he found, but not was all as it seemed. A gargantuous cosmic storm stood between Luno and his sweet. But with determination in his eyes, he trekked forward, for now there is nothing in which he cannot defeat. Entering the planet's atmosphere, his whole ship starts to shake. Sensors begin to sense. His heart begins to quake. A fireball falling from the sky. Everything has gone wrong. A voice speaks on the comm. Warning, you do not have much long. When he came to, he was still in his seat. The sensors stopped sensing, and the shakiness ceased. Walking through his ship, there was a calm, a silence, almost eerie. He then opened the door and let out a sigh of relief. Water as blue as can be, trees with leaves oh so green. Unbelievable creatures were roaming free. As he looked up beyond the horizon, a sight he could see. The fruits of all his labor, he saw his daughter, and Luno was finally at peace.